What is color to you? Color is what brings ideas to life. Color is sharing emotions with the world. Color is what captures the moment. For us, color is a combination of precise calculations and well-defined algorithms, uncompromising design and engineering, relentlessly refining our methods, and spending countless hours to perfect our product. For us, that is color. Every detail counts. Our promise is to give you the most color-critical monitor ever, and to vibrantly bring your vision to life. With your color, the true color.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vicente Lochschmidt, and I'm the Marketing Manager for BenQ in Central and Eastern Europe. It's my pleasure to welcome you today to today's webinar on personal branding with BenQ Ambassador Nemanja Sekulic. Nemanja and I have been working on this webinar for a couple of months now. Had a lot of talks back and forth, and we're really excited to get started and to really pass all the knowledge on to you. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a couple of key bits of information. The first of which being that you will receive today's webinar recording tomorrow in a follow-up email. So don't worry about getting notes on all of the specific things that Nemanja will say. And the second point that I wanted to say is that all of our participants today will be receiving a small gift from BenQ, which is a 10% discount code on our AccuColor monitors, on our PD and SW line. And you'll also be receiving that tomorrow in the follow-up email. Now, for those of you who don't know, BenQ in the realm of monitors has two lines of monitors which are built for artists in mind. We have the PD line, which is for designers, and the SW line, which is for photographers. These monitors are built from the ground up to really cater to artists' needs and to creators' needs. If you've ever worked on retouching a picture or worked for a long time on photo manipulation, perhaps like Nemanja does, or just working with design in general with different pieces of art that you're working with, you know that one of the most, if not the most important aspect is the color accuracy of your monitor. Perhaps this has happened to you where you work for days, maybe even weeks on a certain piece of work, then you see it printed out or on another monitor and you realize that the colors are not lining up. Obviously, the colors that you choose, the colors that you want to reproduce are extremely important when it comes to art. And BenQ AccuColor monitors have this concept of AccuColor, which guarantees that you have the most color accurate display possible when you are working with your art. And the monitors come with a host of other features really built for artists in mind. If you are someone who does a lot of portrait photography, for example, the monitors can be swiveled. There is a super matte coating, really removing all reflections from the screen, so you can work during the day or the nighttime without having to worry about reflections. There is my personal favorite feature, which is the hotkey puck. It's an external remote control that allows you to easily switch between settings, switch between color modes. If you're someone that works with, for example, with animation or CAD CAM, or as a photography with black and white, you can easily switch between settings just by the press of a button. And I've really had the opportunity to work with so many incredible artists, Nemanja, of course, included, over the past couple of years. And the reception that we always receive for the monitors has always been extremely positive, and which is why I also encourage you to not take our word for it. Please take a look yourself. The reviews that BenQ does, we of course never go for advertisements. We're always looking for honest reviews from everyone we work with, and that's always extremely important for us with our relationship with the artists we work with. And with Nemanja himself, he's been using the AccuColor monitors PD and SW now for quite a while, and you can also check his reviews, and it's always fantastic to get all this positive feedback on them. So another point that I wanted to say is that we also have a separate contact window for the monitors in Serbia and then also in the neighboring countries, and that information will all also be in the email. And the last thing I will say about the monitors is that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're just beginning with designer photography or you're someone like Nemanja, who is a pro, who's doing this with full passion and doing this as their vocation, there is a monitor in the resolution and in the size that you need. So we just showed here the PD2725U, which is a 4K model, but we also have smaller ones in lower resolutions if that fits better to your profile, as well as larger ones and also with different resolutions. So that is enough about that. I wanted to now get into talk about Nemanja, of course, himself. For those of you who don't know, Nemanja is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to the world of online design. Over 500,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, on YouTube, and just absolutely passionate about what he does. If you've had the opportunity to see Nemanja before, whether it be in a workshop or a webinar like this one, you know that his passion for what he does is only matched by his passion for teaching. And that's something which is so fantastic to have in a speaker, because not only does he love what he does, but he loves talking about what he does, and he loves teaching about it as well. And I think we're really gonna have a fantastic day today, because the topic of personal branding is also something that Nemanja has really cultivated and has learned by himself really the past 10 years, over 10 years, because he built up everything, his own brand, his own channels, all from scratch, all by himself. And he continues to just be a pioneer with with really this fervor for what he does. And the very last thing I will say is that I know no doubt everyone will have questions, and we have a Q&A section at the end of this webinar where you can ask Nemanja all of the questions that you have. With that being said, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful session. I think you'll be learning a lot. And with that, I'd like to call in Nemanja.
Okay, I'm here. Hey, Vicente. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Vicente, for this great introduction. So first, let me introduce myself a little bit for all you guys who are seeing me for the first time. My name is Nemanja Sekulic. I'm a professional photographer, digital artist, and educator based in Serbia. And I'm pretty long in this business of design and photo manipulations. I started for a little bit over 20 years ago. And I will talk about that a little bit later. But before we start this webinar, I will first share my screen here. And I want to start with one poll. So I want to see how many of you here, attendees, already knows me before this webinar. So I will give you a few moments to select one of these actions, and let's see how many of you actually knows me and how many of you are seeing me for the first time. Okay, few more seconds and I will close the poll. All right, let's do it. Let's close the poll and let's share the results. So, okay, 40-60, pretty cool. So, a little bit more of you already saw me before. All right, so let's back to the business. Today we are talking about creating a personal brand, and that's a really cool topic, and everybody should be at least a little bit familiar with that. So, what is a personal brand? When we think about personal brands in general, we usually think about big brands, big businesses like Nike or Apple or Coca-Cola, but also individuals have a brand. Before I continue, I just need to say something. Vicente already know that this my PowerPoint presentation that you're seeing right now, it's on my screen here. That's why I'm referring to this. It's, I think, my first PowerPoint presentation ever. I'm known that I don't like PowerPoint presentations. I like to speak in public, and I like to speak differently, not like showing this, but I hope that you like it. It's first ever, so don't mind if there are some not cool transitions and things like that. Right. So let's go back to personal brand. So personal brand is how you want to present yourself to your audience, to your customers, etc. Or how Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, like to say, what people say about you when you're not in the room. So that's really important. And it's not about how are you privately, it's more like how you present yourself publicly out there, what you stand for and what you do. You can develop your personal brand completely however you want, completely independently of how you're personally. But there are some people that say that you actually should be the same how are you privately. You need to put that into your personal brand. Well, I can argue with that because there are a lot of people out there that separate their personal brand with their private life or how they are privately. Some famous actors, they have some personal brands, but also they're completely differently they're completely different persons as a brand than how are they privately. And there are many others examples. So you will decide about that at the end of this webinar. You will have more knowledge about what a brand is and should you separate these things or be the same. So for me, I'm pretty much the same how I'm privately. Right, so because personal brands captures who you are and what skills you bring to the table, it helps you make powerful connections and leads to new cool opportunities. You'll be surprised who starts to contacting you, how many people starts to follow you if you are intentional in crafting your personal brand. So since this crazy pandemic situation that is still still here, more and more people are becoming freelancers, which is pretty good. So here, as a freelancer, personal brand is really important, and it will help you to get clients and even higher paychecks, larger payments. So in order to have a good brand, you need to have brand with high brand integrity, as you can see here on the screen. So by high brand integrity, I mean that a lot of big brands, strong brands, have high brand integrity. So that means that how they see themselves, how others sees them, and how they want to be seen, it's either identical or very similar. If you are messed up here, you will not have a high brand integrity and you will lose your customers. Customers trust brands that have high brand integrity, and with this increased trust comes increased sales. So imagine, for example, that you love to buy some, I don't know, technical stuff in one of stores in where you're living, and they have like a big announcement that this weekend there will be a big sale, and you plan everything. You will go to the weekend there, you want to buy, I don't know, new equipment, some hi-fi things or whatever, and you come there and they say, oh, sorry, but we changed our mind, we don't have that. All right, then next time they say, okay, we have discount on this thing right there, and then you want to buy that or order online, and they said, no, sorry, we made a mistake, we don't have discount on that. And eventually that brand will start to lose your trust, and eventually it will lose you as a customer, because you will say, okay, they're not serious. I will go and purchase with someone, make a purchase with someone else. And this is why you want to have a high brand integrity. You want to have everything really nice and concise. So how to make a personal brand? Well, before answer those questions, I want to go and put another poll here just to see, because I'm sure that there are some of you attendees here that already have a personal brand, and I want to see at what level are you with personal brand. So I will give again several seconds to answer this. I'm really curious about that. Okay, a little bit more. Ten more seconds. I see here that you're still answering it. All right. Okay, so let's close the poll and let's share the results. So this is cool. So majority of you haven't started yet, but are curious too. I hope that after this webinar, you will start something, at least be more serious about that. Okay, just starting 28%, and it's our side project, cool. And 7% of you guys are fully engaged and developed. I'm really glad to see that there are people that are fully engaged here. That's really, really nice. All right, now, how to make a personal brand? Well, first we need to figure it out, or you need to figure it out who you are and what you want to accomplish. That's really important, because if you don't know who you are, what you want to accomplish, what you want to do, you will not be able even to start creating your personal brand. Right, so there is a thing that is called Ikigai, a reason for being. And I'm curious, one more poll. There are just few polls here. Don't worry, just it's a little bit dense at the moment. I am curious how many of you actually heard about Ikigai. Are you familiar with that? It's a Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person reason or sense of purpose, actually. So I will give you a few moments. Okay, a few more moments. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. All right, let's see the results. Okay, so 34% of you, 1/3 of you actually are familiar with Ikigai. Perfect. So again, Ikigai is Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose, practically a reason for living. What makes you jump out of the bed every morning? What drives you to do things that you love? So that's like some kind, you will see now, Ikigai is divided in 4 sections. So let me show you here. Basically, we have 4 circles: what you love, what you're good at it, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. So when you intersect all these 4 circles or answer to these questions, you will find your Ikigai. Basically like utopia, but it's possible. And this version of Ikigai here that you're seeing is westernized version of Ikigai. The Japanese one is a little bit different, but this is this suits better for this personal brand thing, so we will go with this. I like to say that if you find what you love, that's the most important question: what you love. If you find what you love, obviously you will be passionate about that. So if you're passionate about something, you love to do something, eventually over time you will be really good at it. That's a normal path. So when you become really good at it, either making the product or be good at consulting or whatever you're doing, you will be able to put yourself out there and to present your product to the world. And because today world is connected via internet, it's practically a big marketplace, and this webinar is totally able to, you can be able to hear me and watch me here because of the internet. So because of that, you can put your product out there and you can be paid for that, because you will be able to sell it. If you have a good marketing skills, you will definitely be able to sell anything. Today, every product has a buyer. period. So just the matter is how you market that product. Can you persuade the customer to actually purchase that? So if you find what you love, you will be good at it, and eventually you will be able to present that to the world. So what the world needs, you can transform that. What I will present to the world, the people will need that if you present it the right way, and you can be paid for that. So first thing, what you love. There are a lot of people that are struggling with that, and I like to ask the question, if the money is not an issue, what would you like to do? So ask yourself that question. If you didn't find your passion yet, if you didn't find what you love, ask this question to yourself. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of my friends that are going every single day out to work and 8 hours working there, coming back home, etc. But they don't like that. And when I ask them, okay, why are you doing that? Why don't you switch to something else? I don't know. What would I do? I don't like anything, and this is something that brings me money, and I totally understand that. Then when I asked this question to the same person, I got some answers. I got some answers that are positive, and they say, okay, but if money is not the issue, I will do that and that and that and that. And then people need the courage to leave the job and to start something else. I know so many examples that people are actually left their jobs to do something that they actually love and become really successful in that and made really sustainable business, but it didn't happen overnight. They first did parallel jobs, regular jobs, and the new one that they want to expand, and then after a certain period of time they quit regular job and did something else. So in order to, when you find what you love, in order to be successful, to build your brand, you need to be different. So leveraging your differences is critical for brand building, because if you're similar to everyone else out there, your personal brand won't be truly a personal. It will either copy someone else or be not so, how to say, noticeable, because people remember those who stands out. And also people relate to what you're wearing, what kind of makeup do you have, what kind of for example, are you casually dressed or business type dressed? I'm related, actually people knows me as this kind of casual dressed person. And if I show in my tutorials, online tutorials on YouTube, by the way, I'm teaching Photoshop and photo manipulation to people on all around the world on my YouTube platform, my YouTube channel. If they see me in a tie and suit, they would think, whoa, what's going wrong? This is not him. Something is messy up here. But that's because I build my personal brand, and also my wardrobe is in that, it's included in my personal brand. So if you are wearing some piercing or whatever, different haircut, different hats, different tattoos, whatever you have, that's everything. It's included in that personal brand. So I will tell you a little bit of my background. And now, when I finished my high school, I started to study electrical engineering, and I loved that in a certain way. It was interesting to me, and I started to do that electrical engineering, telecommunications actually, and it was okay. But in some time, after 2 years of that, I got in love in photography and basically digital art in Photoshop. For my 20th birthday, I got a Photoshop as a birthday present, and I just started to play with it. And long story short, after I got used to know some tools, I made my first photo manipulation, and I instantly fall in love in that idea that in Photoshop you can create anything that you can imagine. Basically, the only limitation is your imagination and of course knowledge of how to use all the tools. And I felt that that's something that I love. That's something that I'm passionate about, not my electrical engineering stuff. So I switched. I left the faculty and started doing this, started teaching myself that, because in that time, in 2000s, YouTube wasn't the thing, and there were no online tutorials. Internet was dial-up internet, so it wasn't like this that you can be online 24/7. It's completely different story. So I was I was able to learn everything by experimenting, and that has plus and minuses. Plus side is that what you learn, you understand it the best way ever, because you went through all the struggles and you solved all the problems yourself. But the downsides are that it takes much more time than learning via YouTube, for example, or other tutorials. And of course, it took me so much time. But after I learned something, I started to do that as my beginning of my career. I was not earning anything out of that, and I needed to work something else. I needed to earn money to be able to live regularly. So I did some other jobs, like some housekeeping jobs for people, repairing stuff, some building some kitchen elements, closets, and so on and so forth. I did a lot of things, everything that I know how to do it, but it's not related to photo manipulation or art or photography at all, to be able to earn money to buy my first camera. And then I bought my first camera, played with that. I become more and more advanced, and then there was a time when I needed a regular DSLR camera and new computer, but I didn't have money for that. And this is an interesting story. I will make it short, but the point is, I didn't know how to earn in that moment of time. For me, it was enormous amount of money, 1,000 euros that I need for the camera and for the computer. So just to for you to have in mind how much money was that, the average payment here in Serbia was around 250 100 euros. So that was like 4 or 5 payments. And I was thinking about what could I do to earn that kind of money, that amount of money, really fast. And I decided to make a website for one gym that I was exercising there. And there was just one problem. I didn't know anything about making websites. So because of that passion, that need to buy a new camera, a new computer, I was really dedicated and passionate about making the website and selling it to the gym. And I invest 1 month, 30 days, day and night, learning and making a website. I learned to code in ActionScript. That was the thing then, ActionScript for Flash, and I learned how to build a website, etc. And I finish all that, and I eventually sell it. There is really interesting story how I sold it. The owner of the website didn't know that I'm building a website, didn't know anything. I just called him and said, hey, can you come to my place? I have something to offer you. He said, of course. And he went to my place. He sit in the front of the computer, and he was like, wow. And I was sitting behind him. Before he came to my place, I was thinking about how much should I charge for that. First, that was my first project. Second, I needed 1,000 euros, but the websites are around 200-300 euros at that time. But I made a huge website for 4 different gyms on different locations, a lot of different programs, etc. And I was like, okay, maybe $500 just for camera, then I will do something for a computer, or maybe $800 euros, but that's way too much. Maybe 500-600, let's see. And he was like scrolling with the mouse, watching the website, and when he finished everything, he just turned over to me, and I was behind him, and like he said, okay, I like it, how much is it? And I was like, 2,000 euros. Just out of nowhere. My heart was like, tick. What did I just said? I ruined everything. I will not make any money out of this. And he said, oh, okay, I need to go home and speak with my wife to see what we will do. I will call you. And he called me after, I don't know, several hours, and he said, okay, can we do like this? I will give you 1,000 euros, and for another 1,000 euros, you will be able to exercise in my gym for 1 year. And I said, no. Okay, you can give me 1,000 euros, but for another 1,000 euros, my brother, my sister, and myself will exercise there for 2 years. Done. I was so happy. I was jumping out of the happiness, and my sister became the world champion in body fitness. My brother and I exercised there and still exercising, not in that gym, but in another, but it doesn't matter. It was really great journey. I bought my camera, bought my computer, and that's something that eventually helped me to become even better and better. But the point is that if you love something that you do, you will find a way. You will go and grab and do everything that you need to do, and every obstacle that you have in front of yourself, you will find a way to jump over it, or to avoid it, or to do something to figure it out the problem, find a solution, and go forward because you love it. If you do something that you don't love and you find in front of some obstacles, there is a big chance that you will just quit. You will quit because you don't have that drive, that passion to actually invest the time and energy to solve these issues. After I had so many other issues in my career, but eventually I'm here where I am. Right, so that was the point of this story, is if you find something that you love, half of the job is done. Right, so now that you know what you love and want to make a personal brand, you need to do something unique, to find your unique branding proposition, so UBP. And unique branding proposition is basically to find what sets you apart from others. Okay, so your UBP could include specialized background, education, training, etc. So my unique branding proposition include a lot of these trainings in the past, my education, a lot of skills that I had, etc., that helped me so much in my future journey. Also, specific talents that set you apart, and everybody has some kind of talent. So there's just a matter of, will you develop those talents, or you will just leave that talent to rot in the corner? I don't know. Just not caring about the talent. If you have any kind of talent, just go push yourself, develop it, because eventually that will pay off. Also, niche expertise. In order to be expert in your niche, you need to have some kind of special background, education, training, whatever, in order to be really good at it, and then eventually will become expert in your niche. So that's really important. And the unique solution to common problem. Again, if you have a lot of background things and a lot of talents, and the more things you know how to do, the better you will be in solving the problems, and your way of solving problems will be different because you know so many things, and your approach will be different. So that's really important. And also something that you do that is hard to imitate or replicate. So everything about this, all the questions about not the questions, but all the topics are leading to that you definitely have something that is hard to do or replicate, and everybody has something. You just need to work on yourself to go there. So in order to find your UBP, you can ask yourself these questions. So what I'm most known for. You can ask also your friends. You don't need to ask just yourself. So what I'm most known for, what do I feel I have a natural gift or talent for, because everybody has something. Everybody has something, at least one. There are people that have more than one. What the others frequently acknowledge me for. Also, what do I believe I bring to almost any situation I'm part of? Also, you can ask that to your friends and family. Maybe they will answer that a little bit differently than yourself. It will be interesting. Also, what can I count on to contribute? That's really important. And what industries do I find interesting? So when you answer all these questions, you will get some answers, and that's okay. But even if the answers to these questions change over time, which is totally that's totally okay, because your brand evolves as you do. So normally the answer to these questions will change. So, but it's critical to answer those questions honestly and accept that your image or answers can change over time. Right. So let's bring another poll here, and this will be interesting. Right. If you could choose only 3, which attributes would you like to be associated with? You can select more options here. I'm really interested in the results here. Okay, few more seconds. Think about that. If you choose only 3 attributes, let's see what they are. Okay, few more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see the results. Woo, that's interesting. Almost 100% of you choose the creativity, so they're creative. That's cool. That's awesome. That's amazing. Creative, professional, and then fun. And that's really good combination. Actually, that's my favorite 3 too. So creative, professional, and fun. Just that order. Obviously, efficient and educational are very important, but I'm just curious how this would go. And that's cool. So there is one really cool tool that will help you to get an idea to what you want to be associated with and what is important to your brand. And that tool is called a brand concept map. And this is how it looks. This is example for a big brand like McDonald's, but it can be associated. You can do it for your personal brand. So you can see your brand or personal brand or any brand. It's in the middle, like a big circle, and all the lines are going to other topics that are associated with that brand. So McDonald's is associated with meals, with value, with service, and so on and so forth. Then the meals are associated with other products like breakfast, hamburger, shakes, fries, salads, etc. Then also with other brands like Big Mac, Egg Muffin, and other products that are not listed here. Also, meals are associated with quality. Like they want to think that they want you to think that they have quality meals. They're fresh, consistent, good tasting, hot, and so on and so forth. So you got a point. And also another thing, it's another example is this Volkswagen Beetle, really cool car. It's a little bit different representation here. We have 3 lines, 2 lines, 1 line, and 3 lines means that this is the most important association with, then 2 lines a little bit less, and 1 line even less. So what people most associate with Volkswagen Beetle is fun to drive, and it is fun to drive. I had a friend who had the Volkswagen Beetle, but the old one, for a long period of time, and I love to drive it. It was a really fun experience, so that's true. Also, it's inexpensive. That's true too. And the inexpensive part is associated with good gas mileage. So in a city or highway, you can see 30 or 40 miles per gallon, and also neat colors. And the other less, how to say, important, not less important, but let's say like that, less important. It's German car, it's good winter car, it's easy to park, and so on and so forth. So this is really cool. These maps are really good exercise, really good visual representation for you to try to create your version of this brand concept map. So as an exercise, you can create this and see what people associate you with. And then if you don't like that, if you like to change something, you can create a new version of the map, modified, and practically rebrand yourself. So this is really cool way to just to visually present yourself, how people see you, what you think people associate you with, and then you can change that and work around that to push your personal brand in different direction according to the map you made. This reminds me in mind maps of Tony Buzan. I don't know if you ever heard about Tony Buzan, but it's really cool mind maps that are basically used for people to visually remember things better by making these kind of things. So that's a cool exercise. So you can do that just to see where you are and if you want to change something. So for me, and what is not just for me, but what is generally important is that you want to be associated with quality. Every personal brand should be associated with quality, otherwise it's not good. So for me personally, in order to be associated with quality, I need to have quality products, quality artwork, quality photo manipulations. And in order to do that, I need to have a quality equipment. And one of the most important tools in my tool arsenal is good monitor. And you already heard about BenQ monitors from Vicente, but I want to share my experience with them. I'm using BenQ monitors for 4 years now, and after a while of using them, they asked me if I want to be a BenQ ambassador, and I gladly accept that, just because I'm so happy and how the monitors are, the quality, the color quality, the sharpness, color accuracy, it's amazing. And that's really important because either you're doing video or photo, whatever, you're posting them on socials. You don't want your green to be more yellow or more bluish, or your red to be more, I don't know, magenta or bluish or any other tone. So you want to have accurate colors, accurate tones, and that's really, really important for any professional out there. Also, what is another really important thing is that these monitors have really great, I don't know how to say that in English, but when you look at the monitors, especially I'm spending 8 to 14 hours per day in front of screen. So that's enormous amount of time. And my eyes are not tired at all just because of the screen. Recently, I have different monitors. I know the problems, but recently my really good friend started to do some digital drawing in Photoshop. He bought a Wacom tablet and just started learning that. And after 2 hours of working, he complained to me that his eyes are red and he's very tired. His eyes are very tired, and he's wondering how am I able to actually spend so much time in the front of monitor. And I said him that probably it's about the monitor he's using. He's using some old monitor, I don't know the brand, but it doesn't matter. And I invited him here to my studio and asked him to choose one of 3 monitors that I have from BenQ. I have PD and SW series, and he worked for several hours, and I asked him, okay, how are you feeling? His eyes were normal, no tired at all in the eyes, and he was just, my back's a little bit painful, but eyes are great. So that's really, really important for me, because I want to save my eyes, because I need to watch the colors, I need my eyes to be healthy, etc. And trust me, it's a huge difference. Also, there are different modes on these monitors that you can, when you're reading something, you can set like a low blue light mode, so you can really easy get rid of that blue tone that is actually bad for your eyes. And this hotkey pack, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. This hotkey pack has a lot of cool options here that you can really easily, by push of the button, change either to that low blue light mode or change different colors modes, Adobe RGBS, so on and so forth. So amazing products. SW monitor is for professional photographers. It's super cool monitor for photographers. The color accuracy is amazing straight out of the box. Of course, you can calibrate it with external calibrator. PD are for designers, but you can use it as a photographer too. But I'm so thrilled how the SW series are really, really color accuracy. So you have here this this QR code that you can scan and see about discount and everything. Or if you don't want to do it now, you can see tomorrow. You will have everything in the email. Right, so now that I spoke about monitors, let's see other topics, and that's define your audience. So that's really important, because many people are making mistake of trying to appeal to the masses, and you don't want that. You don't want to be appeal to the masses. It's critically important to define your niche and then work to appeal to targeted audience. So that's really important. If you're launching your business, your personal niche should be well aligned with your business. And for example, if you want to build your brand further, if you want to be really good at that, you don't want to go to some broad niche. You want to be really in a really specific area of your work. So for example, to determine your niche, you should start with a broad category of interest and then go and narrow it down. But let's recap here. Don't appeal to the masses, define your niche, and work to appeal your targeted audience. So find a niche that you like to work with, and then narrow it a bit down. For example, we have a photography, we have a portrait photography, even narrow niche. Then we have a celebrity portrait photography, even more narrow niche, and then just headshot. But not any headshot, celebrity headshot. So that's really cool niche to be in. So if you can go there, really good business. But I'm joking now, but that's the point here, to narrow down the niche. Also, another point that is not related to photography: marketing, content marketing, SEO content marketing, SEO content marketing for startups and small businesses. So I am a photographer, and I know how broad broad category is photography. So imagine the difference between building a business around photography in general or headshot portrait photography for celebrities. So that's a huge difference. The first one is incredibly broad and encompasses so many different subjects, and it will be really difficult to set yourself apart from others in that big broad niche. The second one is more narrowed, and you have targeted audience. That's what we want, and it's much easier to be an expert in a small niche than in a massive one, and you will grow faster. Your business will grow faster in a smaller niche. Also, recap here: less competition, smaller niche, targeted expertise, and improved customer relations. All right, so now let's go. And now that we mentioned that, I want to mention one really cool strategy. It's called red ocean, blue ocean strategy. I will not do a poll if you heard about that. Too many polls. All right, but you can tell me. 30% of you. Okay, perfect. Don't worry. All right, so red ocean, blue ocean. Let's see what they represent. Imagine the ocean that is like this: red ocean full of sharks, and those sharks represent businesses, your competition, other businesses, other personal brands in your niche, and you're competing about the customers, prices, everything. So there is a big mess, and you know, the sharks are hungry, so there's a lot of blood there, and that's why it's called red ocean. You don't want to be in red ocean. Contrary to that, there is a blue ocean. It's really nice, calm place to be. You're defining your audience, you're defining the rules, the price and everything. There are no competition there. You don't need to fight with anybody. There are no sharks there. But actually, there is one really important shark there, and it's you. You're having fun there because you're either the only shark there, or you have just few buddies there, few sharks there, but you're not competition to each other because this is not a crowded marketplace. So you want to be in a blue ocean. So let me show you here. Red ocean strategy. You're compete in existing market space. So market space is already there. Everything is defined. The rules are set. You're competing there. You need to beat the competition, exploit the existing demands, make the value cost trade-off, and align the whole system of firms as activities with a strategic choice of differentiation of or low cost. So you don't want to be there. On the other side, see, create uncontested market space. Competition is irrelevant. Even if you have it, you don't need to worry about that because there are just few of you or just yourself. Also, create and captures new demand, break value cost trade-off, and so on and so forth. So let's go to real world examples. One of examples that I really like is the example of Cirque du Soleil, so the circus. And circus was really attractive and popular before. And there was a moment of time where there was a big competition and people are losing interest in circus, etc., etc. And the Cirque du Soleil, already famous circus, did something to jump from red ocean into blue ocean. So you see the graph here, but Cirque du Soleil offered the best of both circus. So they merge both worlds. They merge circus and theaters. They add a new product on the market. So they eliminated and reduced everything else. They eliminated those elements of circus here. You can see that creates value to the customers. That creates a low value to the customers, but are pricey. So this blue graph is Cirque du Soleil. So they totally don't care about star promoters, animal shows, agile consensus, and so on and so forth, while other circus are concentrating on that. You know that circus is full of animal acts, etc. But they instead created sophisticated theatrical production with unique storyline and characters. So where other circus are not good at this, they're really good. Unique venue, teams, refined watching environment, multiple production, artistic music and dance. They combine theater, opera, and circus with the drama, with the good performance, and they offer their product to the people who are ready to pay a bit more, people who like theaters, who like operas, and make some completely new, unique experience. They jump from red ocean into blue ocean without any competition, and they started to earn really high amount of money, getting more and more popular, and this is really cool. Also, Nintendo compete with PlayStation, Xbox, and it wasn't so good because it has lower resolution of their video games, etc. But they came up with that Wii consoles with these handles that you're practically interacting with a game. For example, you can play tennis, you can box, and you're using your body to play the games. And they did something that didn't have a competition. They jump again into a blue ocean, and that's how they succeed with their product. But also, I want to say my personal example. I did something similar. I jumped from red ocean into blue ocean, totally not knowing this, unintentional. I think 2009, I started stock photography, and it was already saturated market, millions and millions of stock photos, thousands of photographers, already a lot of things that they're better photographers than myself, a lot of great photos there. And I did what everybody else did. I just took a photo of, I don't know, some still objects, some food, people, anything that I could do. I just started to take photos of that and placing online. And I was in red ocean, so many sharks out there. I was small shark, nothing special. And the first year I have enormous amount of income, $1 per month, almost nothing. There was situations when I had $10 per month, then I was celebrating. That was amazing. But after I think 2 years of just some small income, nothing special, I decided to quit. And I decided to quit because that wasn't my passion, to take photos of objects, animals, people, food, etc. That wasn't my passion. And then I just sat down and said to myself, okay, I don't like that. I love photo manipulation. I love photo manipulation. This is my passion. So why I don't just make photo manipulation and put it out there and see what happens? And I did it. And after I uploaded my first photo manipulation, it was business oriented photo manipulation, not what I'm doing today, but still really good. And that month I earned $100. I was so happy. I was jumping out of happiness. It was amazing, from $1 or $10 to $100 per month. Then I started uploading more and more, making more and more photo manipulations, and my income increased $300-400, and after several months, I got to $1,000, and after another period of time, I got to several $1,000s. So that was amazing. I practically jumped from red ocean into a blue ocean. I was practically alone there. I was practically the first one who, in my knowledge, I was the first one who did these kind of photo manipulations on iStock.com, that website. And that's why I was successful until one moment in time that I was robbed by somebody purchased my portfolio with false credit card and put it out there to torrent websites, and interest in my photos declined from time, and again I was back to really low income, actually 1 month zero, and I decided to quit. I didn't have energy to go again from zero, so I went to do something else, and it was good actually. It was really bad at that moment in time, but eventually supposed to be really, really good. All right, so in order to, when you make a personal brand, when you finish everything out, you need to put yourself out there, because if people don't know who you are and what are you doing and what kind of quality product do you have, you will not have clients, you will not do anything. If you're just some guy who is doing something really good, amazing job, but he's not out there. And these days, while we have the internet, it's easier than ever to put yourself out there. I remember when I started, the way to put yourself out there is to just find the address of big marketing companies and just wrote some like postcards with your photo or your bio or your portfolio. Just send to physically send to many address and wait if somebody will contact you for a job. So you need to put yourself out there, and one of really good ways is art competitions. Trust me, it doesn't matter if you are winning art competition or just don't win at all. You are out there, people will notice you, especially if you have decent or really good artwork, in my case, or decent or really good product. You will be noticed. Maybe this time you will not win, but maybe you will lose, but again, somebody will notice your work, like your work, and you will get a job, you will get a new client. So I did that too. I didn't like these art competitions, I never participated in any, but then Flern, a big YouTube channel who is doing similar things, Photoshop tutorials, hosted international competition in photo manipulation, and my friends persuaded me, actually, made me to go and participate. And I was like, okay, I will do it. All right, don't push me anymore, I will do it. And I did it, and I won the first place, and I was so happy. It's amazing feeling. And I don't know, it was several hundred contestants, and also I had a chance to meet the Aaron Nace from Flern. We spoke a lot. He told me that I should open YouTube channel to teach people photo manipulations and so on and so forth. I got new clients because of that. Some other people noticed me, and then eventually the same year, I think I opened YouTube channel six years ago, and here I am today. So one of really cool places to go to art competition if you're in the art business is AccuColor Instagram page, BenQ Instagram page, because they're having several competitions over the year, and just participate. As I already said, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, just put yourself out there. Also, be active on social platforms and so on and so forth. We will talk about that later. But now I'm calling Vicente to take over for a moment. So Vicente, welcome back.
Thank you, Nemanja. So as Nemanja said, I will be speaking a little bit now. We had when Nemanja and I were talking about this webinar today, we were talking about how to really bring as much value as possible to all of you today. And one of the things we were talking about actually was, if you're talking about building up a personal brand, you want to know how to interact and speak with companies, to speak with brands, to speak with clients. Now, of course, Nemanja is extremely well positioned and extremely experienced from the artist side, but I thought it would be interesting to also give some insight from the other side, from the company. So we're doing something a bit unorthodox here, where I'll also be participating a bit with the content, but I think it'll be quite interesting for all of you. So one thing that one quote that I heard quite a while ago in an interview with an actor one time was the following here: is half of show business is being on time. He was talking about the entertainment industry. He was talking about actors, of course, about people who are in front of the camera, people who are on stage. But this concept translates actually very well to what we do as well in this realm with artists, with creators, and with designers, photographers. If I were to ask you, describe to me the best designer, the best personal brand, the best content creator, the best photographer possible, you would no doubt then say, well, okay, he has fantastic work, of course, really innovative, very creative, very interesting, really very unique, just like Nemanja spoke about before, something which is really, you only really see with this one person. From the online persona side, you would say, well, he has a fantastic social media and super engaging and just huge following, and people love him, and it's all a very unique following that he has. All very distinct, all very singular. That's all valid, all very valid. But what I love about this quote is it shows also another side that I don't think is spoken about enough, and that I can really say from our personal experience also makes a huge difference with whom we work with. The side beyond just your profile, just beyond beyond all of your qualifications, also comes a side of the intangible soft skills that you have. How it is to work with you, how it is to communicate with you as an artist, and this really makes a big difference. So we've been speaking until now, obviously, about the positives of personal branding, and we've been speaking about how this can be a very good thing, and it is. But there's also the other side, which can potentially be negative and potentially can be deleterious, and I want to talk about this today, about how we want to avoid that, of course. So if we take the example of James. Imagine James is a fantastic designer, and his work would be a great fit for our next project. So this, as I talked about, is the qualifications aspect. This is the portfolio, the fantastic following, the very developed personal brand, all of that. All of that is one side, and all of that is fantastic. But if we go to the next part, and we realize, well, you know, James, he's such a good designer, but he takes forever to respond. We write him emails, and sometimes it's a week later, or sometimes he never responds. You know, we say we're going to have a call on Thursday, but then he doesn't arrive, and he at the last minute changes it. And to make it worse, every time we speak with him, he seems to be in a bad mood. There's a lot of energy needed to want to engage with him. And so you see the two sides. On one side, very, very qualified, but this soft side, this human side, this showing up on time for business is missing. But this, of course, can be improved. If we see this from a positive side, he could also be very punctual, very proactive, and is always very easy to communicate with. And I can really speak from personal experience. We've come across profiles, people that we would love to work, that I personally would love to develop so many things with, that BenQ is so interested to work with. Yet these basic things really are missing. And I think something that's important for you, all of you watching here today, also when you're creating your own personal brands, when you are putting yourself out there as designers, photographers, creators, you need to realize also that the companies that you're interacting with, everyone, just like you, has limited time, has limited resources, has 100 other things to do that day. And so when these things go smoothly, when these things go quickly, it really helps make the decision. It really helps bring things forward. And when you establish yourself as someone reliable, if we go back to that concept that Nemanja spoke about with the brand concept mapping, if that ends up being one of your little circles, to be reliable, to be professional, that goes a very, very long way. The design part, the qualifications, all very important, but this other part is also very important. It's a very simple question that I would pose to all of you, and I think something we should always be asking ourselves: how easy are we to work with? How easy is it for us to collaborate and to bring in projects and to communicate with? And there's three points that I wanted to bring up with this. Be easy to find. Nemanja is going to go into the social media aspect very soon, and this kind of ties into that. If you're looking from the perspective of a client who's now looking for a photographer or a designer, you are going to have competition. Depending on how you define your niche, of course, that you can have a lot of competition or very little competition. But you're generally going to have people in the same category as yourself, and you need to make yourself easy to find. So when you have your social media, when you have your website, your contact information, make sure it's all linked very, very well. This sometimes that I even come across myself is that you find the website of a designer, but then you find that the content on the social media and on the site is not lining up, and then it's not really clear sometimes if it's even the same person, because some things are so out of date. And all of these things are things that take time. And if on that same day we've looked at 10 other designers and we find that one of them has all of these things in line, it simplifies the process. And just because of little touches like this, it can make a huge difference of who actually is the person you end up contacting and working with. So I would say being easy to find, and Nemanja will touch upon the social media aspect of that very soon. The second part is to be communicative. With all of the relationships that we build up, just like with people like Nemanja, there's a lot of trust that goes into it. You know, a lot of co-working that happens, and of course we want to be on the same page, and very often we're not in the same country. You know, BenQ is a very huge multinational, and we're working with people from all over the world. To be communicative, to keep people up to date, to always be informing about what your status is makes a huge difference. When you complete an activity, when you complete a project, whether that's now with us, for example, or with a client of yours, it makes a huge difference to know that the client doesn't need to be chasing you to find out what's happening. And I think maybe you as the viewers would be surprised how often it actually can come that emails, the communication can sometimes take days or even a week to be replied to, or sometimes people need to be chased. And I can tell you from personal experience, it makes a huge difference when we encounter someone who is very easy to communicate with, is easy to get a hold of, and can easily facilitate the collaboration process. And the final thing I'll say to this, it's also fine if you, depending on the relationship you have, that you can't turn in something at the proposed deadline. But even communicating something like that, to be transparent about where you are and everything, makes a very big difference. And the last thing that I want to say is to be proactive. I can give a tangible example that happened about 2-3 weeks ago. As I contacted a designer that we wanted to work with, sent in the proposal of what we wanted to do, what the project was, and his reply was, "Thank you so much, but what you proposed I don't feel comfortable with, and I'm sorry that I can't help you." And that was the end of the email. And then I sent a follow-up email and I asked, well, what are you actually comfortable with? What is the format that you would like to work in? We spoke a bit more and we ended up finding a format that he was interested in. Now, he was quite lucky, to be honest, because had we gotten a positive response from another person on that very same day, we would have gone with the other person, because the first guy, he just said no. And so this is another tip that I can give to all of you is, of course, be aware of what your skills are, be aware of what you're comfortable with, but the communication aspect is very important. I would almost never recommend to just write no period, but no comma, but this is something that I could do, or perhaps we can go in this direction, or perhaps we can try this kind of project. This is something that I have more experience with. Things like this make a very big difference, again, because we feel that there is a proactive side, the person who wants to collaborate, that is also transparent about perhaps where their limitations are right now. They have to develop some more skills, but this is something that they would be good in. And that's something else that I would also recommend. And yeah, that's my short little part here. I hope that was helpful, but we thought it would be interesting to show also the company and the client side. So Nemanja, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Vicente. It was helpful. Let me just share the screen here for a moment to continue with this. Okay, can you see the screen, Vicente?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so I spoke about you need to put yourself out there, right? So first you need to have a website, of course, website and social profiles. But website is something that you should really have, because it's your personal signature, something that people can know everything about you there. So if you don't have one, take time and make one. There are a bunch of free website builders out there, but I recommend to go the regular way to purchase the domain, web hosting, and to properly build a website, because it will pay off on the longer run. So definitely, and include on personal website about you, what are you doing, portfolio if you're an artist, or if you're not an artist, there is portfolio for other things, links to your socials, and also it's really cool to have a logo of your brand and headshots of yourself. And it's better to have a professional headshot than just to take a phone and just okay, snapshot, that's cool, I will put it out there. I don't recommend that. Okay, so now regarding social medias, there are a lot of social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Behance, ArtStation, Etsy. Etsy, it's more like a store, but I will talk about that in a moment. And let me just put another poll here for you to answer it. So it's here. Which social media platform are you using for your personal brand? Select one or more. Feel free to do that. I will assume that Instagram will win. That's my prediction. Let's see. Come on. Few more moments. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's done. All right, let's see the results. And Instagram, okay, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, Twitter, I expected that Twitter has the lowest percentage here, but others, okay, it's higher, depends what others are. But Instagram is definitely the most popular. I don't know, TikTok, I didn't include the TikTok here, but it's really popular out there. Facebook slowly lose the popularity, and I understand why. Okay, so now there are different types of social platforms. So we have social communication type, client businesses, and network portfolio. And with social communication, we can put a Facebook there, because blue Facebook, blue. No, that doesn't have any connection with that. All right, then we have a Twitter. It's social platform, communication type platform, and also TikTok can be social communication type platform. It's more video related, but it's okay to be here. Then we have client business oriented, like LinkedIn. Also Etsy. Etsy is a store where you can put your products out there and sell them, and it's very popular place. If you didn't know about Etsy, check it out. You can sell a lot of things there, your e-store to say. And also network portfolio, Instagram, Behance, ArtStation. So Instagram is really cool place, and it's the most popular among you guys. To probably, or almost 100%, is to put your portfolio there. Or if you have a personal Instagram account, not like a business Instagram account, you're putting the photo of yourself. And a lot of ladies are putting, so that's totally ridiculous, but their Instagram is full of that. But Instagram is an amazing tool these days, and TikTok, both of them, maybe the best tools to grow your personal brand, to grow your business. Instagram on the side of photos, videos, reels, Instagram reels for short video content, same like TikTok, or let's say similar. Also YouTube has the shorts, similar to Instagram reels and TikTok videos. That's amazing today, because the audience retention gets lower and lower, and people are just don't have patience to watch something that is longer than it was 2 minutes. Now it's, I don't know, 30 seconds or whatever. And everybody are doing this. Me too, like just scrolling. Oh, this is interesting, scrolling. So basically, you need to make a content that capture attention of the audience in first 0 point something 2 or 3 seconds, some crazy statistics. So in less than a second you need to capture the attention of the audience. So there is one way that will for sure capture the male attention, and that's, you know, tip, that's crazy. Don't do that. I saw some people are doing that and then posting their content after that. Don't do that. You need to be smart and to figure it out how you can capture the your audience. Also, there is other problem here. That's what I already said. Don't appeal to the masses. So if you're creating Instagram content, it doesn't matter which one, reels, posts, some videos, whatever, and you want to appeal to a large amount of people there, you want so many likes, you want so many shares, you want numbers, but your niche is not like that. So you're in art, for example, don't do that. Go and make good quality content, good quality artwork, some cool reels of how you made something, some maybe short breakdown or whatever. We artists know to appreciate that, and we love that, and also clients love that and allows that. And if you're making crazy content to appeal to the masses, the client will go to your Instagram account and see that, and they will not hire you. I spoke a few weeks ago with one big company. It's a cosmetic type company, Vichy, and I spoke with HR there, and I cannot talk too much about why we did that, but some project. But what she told me is that they're looking for social medias of the person they want to hire. So before they decide to hire people, they go and check the social media. And if you have some, for example, naked photos, or not naked, I mean in a swimsuit or on a beach or something like that, mixed with your other content, or too much some not brand related or some stupid things, they will not hire you because you're not consistent and serious for their purposes, for their brand. So they want something similar. So be consistent in what you're posting. If you're posting food, just post food. Don't post photos of you're on vacation and then again food, then you somewhere else. Make special profile for that, like a personal account for anything you want to post about yourself. But your business Instagram account or Facebook account or whatever, it's your business thing. So you need, that's your personal brand. So whatever you're posting there, you're either making or breaking your personal brand. So that's why this is important. Behance, on the other side, it can be both here in the network portfolio type, because you're posting, I'm now talking about the artistic side, but probably here are some people that are not artists, but you will understand. So Behance is a really cool place where you can put your portfolio and break down how you got to that result. And also client business related. I personally got so many clients on Behance. When I post several, now unfortunately I didn't post on Behance, who knows how long ago, but few years ago when I was serious about that, I got so many clients there. So if you're new or not new to the business, if you want to get clients, post on Behance and just have a portfolio there. It doesn't cost anything. It does, I don't know, maybe now it's part of Adobe. I don't know if you need to be subscribed there to pay something per month, but it was free before. I already pay Adobe subscription, so it's still for me functioning, so everything is cool. ArtStation, it's again cool for artists, so that's it. TikTok is rocket fast growing community, and there are a lot of crazy things here, to avoid some other words, but you can still promote yourself there and grow really fast, make really big audience there. So if that's your thing, check out TikTok. It's really cool thing to grow your audience. Okay, also you need constantly to add value to your audience, and you need, by making content that is insightful, engaging, and that truly helps your audience, it's a different story than just making content like for the content itself. So you need to create some content that is valuable. And in order to do that, you need some planning, you need intention for that. So you're creating something intentionally. And also when you're doing this, ask yourself, would this help me? Is this actionable? So if, for me, for example, I'm making YouTube tutorials, so I'm always asking myself, is this is helpful to my audience? Will they learn something new out of this video? It doesn't matter how many views I have. It's pretty narrow niche, so I'm doing that. There are a lot of people that are making there are a lot of great, amazing artists. We are working in the same niche, and they're making something that it's more entertaining. They're making speed art videos, etc., and that's perfect. That's amazing. And for me personally, that's even more interesting, because if you know already a few things, you're just looking at the speed art video and you grab a few tips and tricks and implement into your work. But for the people who are starters, beginners, etc., I'm making these step-by-step photo manipulation mostly, and it's harder to produce them. You need to invest more time. It's not so viewable content, because majority of people want to be entertained, not to learn. But this is something that you should provide your audience with content that will make a real difference in their life. I got so many really enormous amount of messages of from people all around the world saying how my tutorials changed their life, how my tutorials made them to make a brand business and learn so many things. They learn much more things via my tutorials than on college, etc. I don't want to speak too much about that. It's not on me to speak about that, but I just want to say that you need to add value to your audience, and do that consistently all the time. So also, I'm currently making a new personal brand. I created a new YouTube channel just for entertaining purposes, because I love to do so many things, and I want to have a space where I will show and learn some new skills and show people how to do that. And I have a channel that's called Ridiculous Skills, and first video is there. So if you want to check it out, it's a really cool place to have fun. So this is just a start. All right, so you need to build a community. That's really important. You don't need, but it's a plus. Building community means create a place where people will talk to each other, get to know each other, grow together, help each other, and so on and so forth. And if you're looking to generate businesses, this is an excellent way to actually differentiate yourself. There are so many websites where you can build a community. Instagram is one of websites, Facebook pages or groups is an amazing place to build a community, because you can interact with your audience there. Also YouTube's in the comments. I love to answer the questions of my subscribers there. But also one really cool website is Patreon. Patreon is a website where people are paying you monthly subscription, basically saying you thank you for making free content for us. I'm investing all my time and my knowledge and my expertise and years of experience and my equipment and everything to put out there completely free tutorial. Completely free. You don't need to pay anything. Also, I have a course, but these tutorials are completely free. And there are people who knows to appreciate that and who like to say, all right, thank you for that. I will subscribe to your Patreon and I will support you by monthly fee. It's $1, $5, depends how you want to give. But also for that, they're giving something in return. It's not just supporting me or other creator. They're giving, we are giving them something in return, like my PSD files, etc. So that's really important to build a community. So also building a community makes you get clients easier, because more and more people will know about you, and then the word will be spread and you will get some clients. So let me post another poll here. It's this, and I think this is the last one. So how many pages or sites are you maintaining for your personal brand? So select one of these answers. How many of them are you maintaining? if you don't select anything, but are you just on Instagram and maintaining the Instagram page or several other sites, etc.? Let's see if there are people who are actually doing that for five pages or sites. I'm really curious. Right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Right, let's see. Oh, nice. 33% one, okay. 31% two, but 10% of you guys are maintaining 5 different pages or sites. That's amazing. So you're probably really serious about your personal brand. So that probably these people are people who are really intentional of making and how to say, just doing the personal brand thing. All right, so let's hide this. And the conclusion is, let's say something smart that will conclude the whole story. Well, I don't have anything too smart to say, but building a personal brand is definitely a lot of work. You need to work every single day on that, but the payoff is enormous, and of course, when it's done correctly. So if you do it really good, you have a lot of benefits out of that. And also, personal brands allow you to build a network of professionals who sees your work and think of you first when there are new opportunities. So again, new clients, and also higher paychecks. So if you have high integrity personal brand, you're really good at it, you made really good story for yourself, of course you will have higher paychecks. And also remember this, personal brand is a lifelong project that constantly evolves and changes. So don't worry about that, it's normal to change. And my final advice is be consistent, never give up, and be ready to fail, because over time your incline will not go just like this. You will go like tick 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 tick. So be ready to fail. When you fail, just stand up. I can do it, and go even stronger. And then never give up, especially if you're really intentional about that, if that's your passion, if that's something that you want. When I started to do photo manipulation and photography thing, when I quit my electrical engineering, my telecommunication thing, I was getting so many critiques from my friends, my close friends, that I should not do that, I should go back to college, I should study that, I should finish that. I'm so how to say that in English, careless, and I'm living in my imaginative world that I will get money out of that. But I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to be the person who will quit. I knew my vision. I wanted to do that, and it takes time. You cannot do anything overnight. So don't think that you can build your personal brand overnight. If you're starting now, it will take some time. I created a new YouTube channel, and I have just, I don't know, 200 subscribers and 1,000 views. So this will not grow overnight. I need to be consistent. I like to say, first year you're throwing in the water. Don't think about the first year. Just be consistent, put yourself out there, and then eventually the success will come. So that's really important. And that would be it for today. Now it's time to ask me some questions. I will see actually if you already did in a moment. And before that, Vicente, do you want to say something? If you want, say it now, or be quiet forever.
Yeah, thank you, Nemanja. That was fantastic. Everyone, just like Nemanja just said, the webinar is not over yet. The content is. We're now going to go into the Q&A section. But I just wanted to say again, for those of you who came later, the recording of today's webinar will be sent to you, and you will also be receiving the 10% discount code as well for the BenQ AccuColor monitors for the PD and SW line. And if you enjoyed today, I encourage you to check out our social media. We're always promoting webinars like this with fascinating people just like Nemanja about the topics of art and photography and design. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you all at the next webinars. With that being said, we'll then go into the Q&A section, and you guys can no doubt already typing away. So we'll go into that now.
Okay, there are no questions. You know everything. I know that there is really hard to ask some questions now, but can you tell us how can we contact you? Well, you can contact me via my website, my email, or Instagram account, etc. But if you go to nemanjasekulic.com, there is a contact page there, and you can send me an email. That's the best way to contact me, because sometimes, and not just sometimes, so many times I got DMs on Instagram, but there are so many messages there, and they're in some requested part there, and I don't open that often, so the mail is the best way. Can you repeat your YouTube? Can you? Oh yeah, I did YouTube challenges earlier at the beginning of my YouTube career, and it was fun. And yeah, I think I will. I think I will, because it was fun, definitely. But I first need to finish a few other things. All right, let's see. Which part of making a personal brand was the most challenging for you? That's a great question. Oh, Piero is here. Okay, so that's a great question. Actually, for me, probably to be to put myself out there for people to know me. So you know, I was here in Serbia. I was doing a lot of commercials for banks, for coffee companies, for different products, also for clients all around the world. But I didn't have so many clients, because I was nobody, because I was not out there. And in the beginning, I didn't realize how important it is to put yourself out there. And I didn't care about social media. I didn't care about Facebook or Instagram, etc. I really didn't care about that. And that was my biggest mistake. And also YouTube. I started YouTube. I didn't want to start a YouTube because my English wasn't good. I didn't feel comfortable in front of the camera. If you see my first YouTube videos now, if you go back in time and see my first YouTube videos that are still there, you will see how my English improved over the time. But still, I was so quiet there. I wasn't myself. So that was completely different. But there are people who pushed me to do that, and I stepped in that world of unknown and did it. And today I'm really glad I did it, because I can be in front of camera basically pretty comfortable. I'm still not myself, because I'm talking on a foreigner language. If I'm speaking in Serbian language, I'm even more energetic and more jokes and more things to express, more better words, etc. That's normal, but I'm pretty happy with this. All right, so the answer is putting myself out there. Another question, do you ever cancel the video because you felt it was not right or good enough? That's a great question, Piero. That's a great question. Well, I didn't cancel a video because I don't make video if I don't make a good, for me at least, good photo manipulation that I will teach people how to do it. But what I did, I made so many projects, so many photo manipulations for YouTube that went into the trash can because I wasn't happy about the result, or I wasn't happy about what people can learn out of it. So I did that. But making a video, usually I never cancel the video. Okay, so can you repeat your YouTube channel? Okay, that's, I already said it. Subscribe. Thanks for that. All right, if you have any question, now is the time to put them here. If not, I'll wait a few seconds more. If not, I want to take this moment to thank you all for participating and being here. I hope that you learned something new, that you heard something new that will actually help you, that you're benefiting from this, and that will help you to create your personal brand or rebrand yourself, or even make your personal brand stronger, high brand integrity. All right, there is another question from Piero. What is the craziest project you wish to do in the future? What I wish to do in the future is on my new channel to learn some crazy skills. That's definitely the thing. And another question is from Slobodan, do you think about another software for photo manipulation? This guy, Slobodan Jankovic, is amazing VFX artist. Amazing VFX artist. He's doing a lot of projects for Hollywood, actually, outsourcing. So other software for photo manipulation, I don't know. I know that you're talking about other softwares, but for mass audience, I'm not sure. When are you going to make Blender tutorials? Probably not not soon, because you know what? I'm okay with Blender or with 3D for me, but I'm not even close to be comfortable to teach people. I can make tutorials about how I made something, but to teach people from scratch, I'm not comfortable with Blender or Cinema 4D or any other. When you're going to make, okay, I saw your new channel. Awesome. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I hope it will be really entertaining material there every week. I need to post something new. Right. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, and see you on my YouTube channel, my 2 YouTube channels. And Vicente, I'm leaving to you to conclude everything and close the webinar.
Hi, I'm Sekulic. I was in the research field which focused on LCD and OLED technology. So after joining the BenQ, I found that I can more close to the user to listen what they need. When start this journey, the most thing is that how to help them to focus on what they want to do, the creative process. We think for those creatives like designer, photographer, they should focus on the creative process. For example, they should pay their energy on what they love, to take a photo of creative new things to the world and not worry about if their monitor can provide the good color performance for them. It's just waste their time and creative energy. Since BenQ already make the good monitor many years, we start to build the AQ color monitor. And we need to co-work with different function teams. We may work with user research team to collect the idea and they transfer it to the product feature. Then we take this prototype to the professionals. And as then if it meets your demands, back forth many times, and then finally we can fine-tune the good features for them to solve their problem. And also our color expert fine-tune every monitor to make sure every model have the precise color which meet the professional's demands. We listen, hear what they need, and discuss with them, then transfer it to the product itself. So for this year's working for the AQ color monitor, if you want to climb the mountain, there's no shortcut to the top. You need to take your time step by step, then finally you can achieve the top of the mountain. Same as us. So this is why we can achieve the goal and have market position at these years.